Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Rocket Raccoon. Here's a look at the packaging. Alright, so Rocket Raccoon is my favorite character in Guardians of the Galaxy, and after I saw the movie, I thought, hey, how cool would it be to pick up the Rocket Raccoon action figure. Now, while there are some things about the figure that I like, I do find it to be a little bit lackluster, and we will look at those things momentarily. But from a sculpting standpoint, I think Hasbro did a really good job with this guy. He definitely captures the look of the character from the film, and the paintwork done on him is also very nicely done. But that being said, I think the figure lacks some of the personality that we saw with Rocket Raccoon. The sculpt does look like him very much, but there's just not a whole lot going on here to make him feel like Rocket Raccoon. Give you a close-up of his face. So like I said, he definitely looks like the character from the film, but I'd like to see something going on here, some sort of expression. He just looks very passive and neutral, and this doesn't really capture what he was like in the film very well. I would have liked to have seen, more of like an open mouth, maybe like a growl kind of thing, or, just him like maybe trying to talk, or, just something to give him more personality, because the way it is, it just doesn't really capture, the personality of the character in the film. It looks like a raccoon, but it doesn't look like Rocket Raccoon, if you know what I mean. But that being said, it still looks good. I like the look and the outfit. The paint on him is very nicely done. He looks quite good. But, he's just lacking a little bit of depth and personality to make him more like the Rocket Raccoon seen in the film. In the way of articulation, this is also kind of where things are a bit off for me. He does have a ball joint at the head, but he doesn't get a whole lot of movement from it. Yeah, he goes side to side, but he doesn't really look up or down too much. He's kind of fixed. They may as well have just given him a swivel, because there's not a whole lot you can do there. He also has ball hinges at both of his shoulders, okay, which are good. He's got ball hinges at both of the elbows, which is also nice. He's got swivels at his wrists, which are good. He has a ball joint here at the torso, but, like with the head, it goes side to side, but it doesn't really go up or down. There's just really not that much movement in there. Still a pretty good joint. The tail is articulated. It swivels back and forth, and it's a little bit loose, I think, for my personal tastes. It just, you barely have to touch it for it to move. And then for the legs, he doesn't get anything. There's nothing beyond the waist, unfortunately. I think at least some swivels at the hips, maybe some ball joints at the knees would have been nice, but that's not really all we get. So half of the figure is articulated nicely, but, the bottom half is definitely not. Now, Rocket Raccoon does come with some pretty nice accessories. He has this rifle right here, and it's a pretty nicely sculpted gun. It looks very busy, and the paint job on it is, it's kind of like a tan color. There's a little bit of a wash to it as well. There's some dark areas that you can see. It has this little movable piece right here that doesn't really do anything. I think that's mostly so that he can hold it without too much problem. Now, he doesn't hold the gun all that well, but I find that this little piece really does help, because, it kind of holds the gun, to his paw, which, helps him to hold on to it. Otherwise, I don't think he would hold it at all. There's also this base here, and, I haven't seen the movie since last summer, so I don't honestly recall if this was in the film or not, but, either which way, it's a pretty neat looking piece, and, it's cool that they gave him something, because otherwise, just paying $20 for a Rocket Raccoon by itself is a little bit hard of a pill to swallow, so, something, even if I don't quite recall exactly what this is, makes it nice that, they included something with the figure. And it almost feels like he can, kind of ride it somehow or another. It kind of works like a vehicle if you wanted it to. Again, I honestly don't remember what this was used for in the film, if anything. You can put his hands around the grips on either side, and, he does hang on to it quite well, and he doesn't fall off. And then perhaps the coolest accessory that Rocket Raccoon comes with is the Build-A-Figure aspect of the figure, which is Groot's head and upper torso. And it actually looks really, really nice. I mean, it is a bummer you have to get all 6 figures to build Groot, but hey, you know, there's some incentive for wanting to build them, you know, to collect them all. But I mean, the face on it looks really good, and that does capture Groot's personality quite well. So, you know, it's kind of a wonder why they couldn't do the same with Rocket Raccoon. But, you know, the chest part, you know, also looks quite nice. Upper back, top of his head there, and this is where you connect the lower torso and then the arms. So yeah, this looks really good. And now that we have the upper torso, we can take the left arm that we got with Star-Lord and simply plug it in. And there we go. We're on our way to fully assembling Groot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Guardians of the Galaxy Rocket Raccoon. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the figure, though I do find it to be a little bit lackluster, and I definitely think that given the limited amount of Rocket Raccoon figures that Hasbro made for this film, they should have given this guy a little bit more love. You know, from a sculpting standpoint, he very much looks like Rocket Raccoon. You know, the outfit's quite nice, but he's just very devoid of any personality, you know, some kind of a scowl or, you know, some kind of a look on his face really would have helped out here. Also, some extra articulation I think would have been really nice. I mean, as he is, he's okay. I mean, he's able to balance on his tail pretty well, but without that, I mean, he wouldn't even stand. The rifle is quite nice, though I think it's a little bit big for him, and he doesn't really hold it without using the little loop that comes attached to it, and that's probably why that loop is there. The other accessory that he comes with, you know, also pretty nice accessory, though, you know, there's not a whole lot, you know, you can really do with it, as far as I can tell, other than, you know, ways that I showed you him interacting with it. But, I mean, all in all, if you like Rocket Raccoon, you're probably going to want to get this figure because, you know, Rocket Raccoon is just darn cool. And he reminds me a little bit of my dog. And the Groot head and upper torso that come with him are also quite nice. And, you know, will get us on our way to building Groot. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the figure. I am happy to have it in my collection, but, you know, it definitely isn't perfect. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.